Hi guys, it is February 17th, 7:31 p.m. Today was a nasty day in Norfolk, Virginia. There's a layer of sleet over soft powdery snow, and the roads were in horrible condition. My husband's a manager at 7-Eleven, so he has to go in to work, and he picked up one of his employees, and he said that the accidents, the traffic was horrible, the road was not clear. He took the interstate to go to the side street he needed to get to, because he figured the interstate would be nice and clean off and salted. It was not. It was a horrible mess. And he said, if you don't have to go in, if you can call in, call in. He said, no. He said, this is the interstate. The interstate is this bad. I can imagine if you try to take Indian River Road down to Military Highway, what it's going to be like. It's going to be even worse. So he said no. I know coming home from work yesterday, it was scary, because they were clearing up a wreck in the intersection of Indian River Road and Military Highway. And then driving, I was going like 30 miles an hour, if that, and keeping a good distance between me and the car in front of me. And there were people who were impatient, who figured, well, the snow looks like it's packed down on the other sides of you, and so they just whip around people, and then the car back end starts to slide, and then they have to try, and they were trying to recover from the skid, all because you're impatient. That ice and snow on untreated roads, and plus you got to go over these little bridges that cover some of the little creeks through that area, like Broad Creek and other creeks in that area, and then you got the high bridge that goes overpass that goes over by the old Ford plant. And they have put a little bit of salt and sand on that because it's very slippery. I've seen a tractor-trailer truck jacking off and slide down the Battlefield Boulevard overpass before. And that Ford plant's overpass is just as, the incline is just as great as that one, if not just a little bit lower than that one. Needless to say, I was driving. It took me, a normal 5-minute drive took me almost 40 minutes to get home yesterday. So, yeah. And so I called in, and they tell you to use your own discretion. Use your best judgment. Well, my best judgment was to call in to work, because I don't want to be a statistic, because I know that if you use your best judgment, they tell you to use your best judgment, because it's your fault if you get in an accident trying to get to work on unsafe, slippery roads. It's your fault. They're not going to help you replace your car if you wreck it. If you're in the hospital, that's your problem. If you can't report to work because you're in the hospital injured from trying to get to work, that's your problem. It's all your problem. And so I don't need problems like that in my life right now. I got enough problems with dealing with trying to keep my diabetes controlled. I don't need new problems simply from trying to get to a job that, is not going to take responsibility if I'm injured badly or you lose the use of our vehicle. So no, thank you. So I stayed home, and I probably needed to stay home. I'm having a vision shift again. I'm not sure why. So I'm using the insulin and stuff. My sugar is responding good to insulin, so I'm not sure why I'm having a vision shift. I don't know, maybe I was getting dehydrated, maybe I was fighting off something and didn't realize it. But I'm trying to rest my eyes as much as possible. I slept from 9 o'clock until I woke up around 2. Cats woke me up, and the cats have been up under me, like, follow me like won't be long before Mushi's knocking at that door trying to pop it open to come in here. So it reminds me when I first started exhibiting symptoms of diabetes. My dog, my rat terrier Abby, the little, you guys remember, she used to come up here and she would sit near me, or she'll want me to hold her and stuff like that, so she could smell my breath, because they can smell the ketones, the sweet smelling that attracts them. And so I'm like, excuse me, maybe they know now I'm getting ready to go into another episode or something. And it's like, so yesterday when we got home from work, we spent 5, almost 6 hours under the house, between under the house and the basement, because the water pipes for the kitchen had frozen. And so we were under the house all that time in the crawl space and in the basement, heating those pipes up slowly, and until they freed up. And then because he had set the water running before he left to go to work, because he knew the temperature was going to be dropping. But I guess when the kids probably used the sink and forgot to put it back on the middle, just not dripping, but just the step before dripping, like the little stream of water, and they forgot to shut the water back off, and so the pipes froze. Going in. The crawl space has to be insulated. Actually, we needed to divide it, like the part, like put like a board with insulation up between the part between where the pipes are and then the rest of that crawl space, because the rest of that crawl space goes up under the porch, the back porch, and part of the kitchen. It really doesn't need to be open. There's no wires or anything back there that we need to deal with. Only the front portion of that crawl space which has actual pipes and the wiring for the air conditioning units. That portion needs to be insulated. So if we encapsulate that area and make it smaller, it'll be easier to keep that area warm come winter time and stuff. Really haven't had that much problems with it. When they renovated the house, they apparently tore all the insulation down and stuff under there when they were running all the new wiring and stuff, and they didn't put it back. So that's why we found out last winter, but we just haven't had a chance or the money to get it repaired. So we'll probably end up doing it ourselves. We'll get a friend who's a handyman, get him to help us get it done. Because two of the things I want to do is I want to brick the windows on the right hand side of the basement. I want to take those windows out and just brick those in, because no light gets through there anyway. It's completely shadowed by the house next door, so no lights comes in that way. The windows that's on the left side of the house, I want to get better windows put on the left side of the basement, because lots of light comes through there, and we actually use that light down there sometimes. Instead of cutting the lights on, if it's daytime, you can go down there and do laundry and whatever, and it stays nice and bright from that side of the house. So that's one of the other things that we want to get done. It's always something that we want to get done. This house is over 100 some years old, and some things, when the people built the house, they didn't put thought into it. Because truthfully, it didn't need no windows on that side of the house to begin with, and it didn't need windows on the back portion of the side of the house we want windows on. They only needed windows up in the area where they built the pedestal for the dryer, and where they built the area for the dryer outlets and stuff like that. The other thing that basement needs is it needs outlets above water level, outlets. We don't have any outlets in there right now other than 2 or 3, and they're up towards the ceiling, but it needs a couple towards the back of the basement where you can set up a table and craft, or whatever, put up the heat lamps for plants, start some seeds and stuff back there, and so on and so forth. So anyway, we got that done, and then I was trying to figure out, because my eyes have been messing with me. So I was like, why does it look like there's a hole in that window? And I just walked closer to it and realized, ooh, there is a hole in the window pane. Tater, our dog, and you guys know how big that fool is, he goes and we take him to the basement when the weather is real bad. And sometimes we take him in the basement when the weather isn't so bad, just so Peter doesn't mess with him. Like, we'll put him in there when we go to work, and we'll take him back out so he can run around the yard when we come back home. And so, but he's so big and so tall that he can stand up, and it's like a person, a 5-foot tall person at that window, and he's figured out that if he pushes the panes, the glass is over 100 years old, these window panes in this basement on that side, and the mortar that holds them in place is starting to crack and break and stuff. He's been pushing at them, the loose one, with his nose until he could finally push it out, I guess. And I don't know, maybe he was getting too warm, or maybe he was the feral cats that's in our neighborhood, maybe they're running by catching his attention, or maybe a person was over there on the other side thinking about breaking into the house when we're not home. I don't know. But maybe and then they see this huge dog down in the basement, it changes their mind real quick. So, but one pane was pushed out of the window at the closest to the door to the basement that goes outside to the garden, and one pane up towards the front of the basement that is across from the stairwell to the basement was pushed out. So we tried to put them back using spackling, but it's so cold that it's going to take a while for it to cure. What we're probably going to end up doing is getting some plywood and cover those windows from the inside. Put plywood up from the inside, and that'll be that until we can get that brick. It's just one thing after the other, isn't it? So, knitting and crochet, that's what this supposed to be, right? Y'all supposed to be finding out what I've been knitting, crocheting, and spinning, right? Knitting, I finished Freddie's scarf today, and here it is. I love the texture from that cross stitch pattern. Absolutely love it. And I love this brown. This is some loosened thread, and they're brown. It's such a warm, chocolatey brown. I love it. I actually have some alpaca, almost this color. Alpaca blankets come almost every color in the sun, including they even have a color that's called rose gray, which is a almost pinky grayish white color. And then they also have fawns, every color of brown you can imagine, all the way up to black. Every shade of gray you can imagine, every shade of white and creams and buttercreams you can imagine, and golden brown, honey brown. I mean, you name it, alpaca has that color. Wait, llamas too. Llamas have a great range of color as well. They're in the same camelid family, so you expect that. So llamas have more guard hairs. So this was the other scarf. It's a circular scarf that I did using that same crisscross. I don't know if it's gonna focus. Crisscross pattern. And this is for my sister-in-law from one of my Pay It Forward projects. I know y'all seen this before. I don't know where the other glove is at. I don't know. Y'all saw that before. There's another glove to it somewhere. I need to find it. I don't need to be losing stuff. There it is. Alright, so these aren't gifts. These are mine. I made them for me. Using some nice pricey yarn. So these are those hats. Not this one. I did this one before. Just a little bit of yarn I had left from another project. So these are the hats I have for an order. And they're all just like berets. Some are using knitting to do the band, and some are all crochet, and they're all just berets that she wanted, just simple berets. And so hopefully my daughter will get in touch with her soon. If not, they'll be going somewhere. Probably go to Edmark, because they love it when I bring berets. The kids do. And then this is a Pay It Forward. It is a cabled hat. Some of the cables are not perfect because I lost track of what I was doing, or I wasn't paying attention. But I think I was watching Tokyo Ghoul. I was catching up on the Tokyo Ghoul episode. So it's still cable. It's just not perfectly cable. But it's real stretchy. And this one covers your ears quite easily. One on here, this hat on, but it's real warm too, and it was made with that Lion brand super ultra bulky yarn. What is it called? Hometown USA. Hometown USA. Yeah, I guess that's the name of it. Hometown USA. It's 81 yards per skein and super bulky size 6. What are you doing, hobo boy?
Can you spare the diaper nickel?
No. Go clean your room.
No! You're a homeless boy! You're a homeless!
I don't got no room.
You're a homeless! You don't have no room!
Why not? Did Daddy kick you out?
I kicked him out! This is being
I
bad!
thought you were some random person on the street.
No,
What did he do? Lock you out the house again?
No vagabond boy's gonna be in my house!
He locked you out the house.
No.
What you do?
No.
He just messing with me.
I'm messing with him because he had his homeless stick, and I was like, where's your homeless bag? So I made him a makeshift homeless bag so he can walk around and look pitiful and ask for spare change. And I said, I'm not giving you no spare change. No spare change. He was probably out there selling drugs.
What are you saying about
And
that?
your mama probably kicked you out the house. So I said, I know a lady upstairs that maybe will give you some spare change. So now he's up here looking for spare change.
This is what I have to deal with on a daily basis.
So it was actually a big plot twist, and you're actually my dad, and you were taking me out to see my mom.
Yes.
But you still kicked me out, so I do not remember all of this.
It's a telenovela. It ain't supposed to, the storylines ain't supposed to match up. It's just there. It's a new situation every day, every week. Let's go.
So it's a sitcom.
We're gonna find your sister.
See, that's what I have to put up with every freaking day. It's craziness like that with my silly family. Anyway, let's get back to what we were doing because I don't edit, so that would be in the video. So anyway, the pay it forward cable hat, though it's imperfect, is finished. Alright, now, since I was finally awake, because like I said, apparently I needed rest because I slept a dead sleep until the cats finally woke me up. So I decided to start working on a pair of mittens, not fingerless gloves. A pair of mittens for a potential order. And this is using Charisma. It's 109 yards per skein, loops and threads, and it is number 5 bulky weight yarn. I'm doing the thumb for this pair right now. So I need to make a pair for myself because when I took Tater outside today so he can go do his pee and poop to handle his business, I had just had on my fingerless gloves, and even though they're wool, they stopped right here at my knuckles, so all my fingers was out. My fingers were so red and purple blue looking. I was only out there for about 15 minutes with him, and my fingers were hurting and aching. I was like, okay, it's time for me to go back inside because I don't have several layers of fur. So, and I was like, are you ready to go? And he's looking at me like, no, I ain't going in. I'm going to play on this ice. And that was funny because as soon as he saw that snow and ice, he dived onto what he thought was snow. Because when he went out last night, it was still nice and powdery and soft, and he played in it and stuff. But when he went out this morning, it was a hard layer of ice, and he went to dive to rub, like how they roll on their backs and just wallow in the snow. Taylor just rubs all in like he done found the best thing in the world. And so he went to do that, and his head caught on the ice, and he jumped up and he was like, what in the world's going on? And so then he tried to do it again, and he just slid across the ice. It was funny. And he finally pounced a couple of times to break the top layer of ice so he could get to the snow and roll in it. But I was laughing. But as my fingers were hurting from that cold, I was just laughing my butt off at that stupid dog. So he's been enjoying his snow and ice. And so he's getting ready to get put back into the dungeon. And hopefully he won't break out and run the pains again. But he's so nosy. He's so freaking big and tall that I know that's a possibility. But I also know if anybody's stupid enough to try and reach their hand up in there, it might end up, because he likes gloves too. He has this thing about gloves. So he might decide he wants to chew on their gloves. They might think he's attacking them, but you have no business reaching your hand through the window pane in my basement. You get what you get. So yeah, it's been an interesting day around here today, that's for sure. So I decided I just want to come talk with y'all, show y'all what I've worked on today and past couple of weeks. I want to thank everybody who subscribed to me recently. I have gone over 700 subscribers. I can't believe it. I'm like, somebody has to be mentioning me on their podcast or in their what's the word I'm looking for? Their groups over on Ravelry or something. Something has to be going on. And or maybe through Instagram, I don't know, but I really appreciate you guys subscribing to me and, you know, kind of let me know what you're looking for as far as videos, what you want to see. Maybe there's like some kind of tip you want to see for spinning or something like that. I'm trying to get my room set up again so that I can do like some of the, like I used to do with the art and like crocheting and knitting and stuff. Show y'all stitches I'm working on and stuff like that. But first I gotta get all this crap cleaned off from over here. So that's just another thing in the evolution of Juanita. But right now I'm just working on this thumb. As you can see, I'm just going around in a circle, decreasing some as I go because I don't want the thumb to be too big. Because I think the person who is gonna buy these sister has small hands like hers, because her sister's basically commandeered the ones I made for her. So I had thrown away the drawing I had of her hand, the outline of her hand, so I don't have that to guide me. So I'm just trying to, I knew that I could fit those gloves as well. So, I mean, and these are mittens. Mittens aren't meant to give you the dexterity and that gloves do, and the tactile, you know, sensations that gloves do. Mittens were always designed for simplicity and warmth, and so that's what these would definitely be. And they're so easy to make. There's no pattern. You basically just do front post, double crochet, circular front post, double crochet. The band down here is a 1x1 rib, is a rib pattern, and then you just pick up how many stitches you need across the top of the rib pattern, and then you just, it's just front post crochet, and you get a nice mitten. So, and this part here is a double crochet, a single crochet for to do the decreases for the top. And you can see there's like a little indentation. It makes me think about an ice pop stick. These colors are actually what do they call that ice cream with the strawberry and the chocolates and stuff. No white. It's no vanilla though. So I guess we call it berries and cream. Berries and cream. Berries and chocolate. Yeah, berries and chocolate ice cream. So neat. It doesn't take long to do it all. These will be finished. If I'll probably finish this one in like the next 3 or 4 minutes, and then I could probably do the start the other glove. And basically how I'll measure it, the glove, is I just hold it up as I go to this. I know I use 8 for the band. I know I use 8 double crochet, and then I started doing the rib. So all I gotta do is do the 8 double crochet and do the rib until when I fold it over to the crease, it fits right on top of that at the crease with this crease. Then once that's done, I'll pick up the stitches. I'll leave this open. This is where the seam is at. right here, and the seam goes up all the way this way to the top. And so I'll leave this open until the end. After I finish the top and I sew it in, then I'll weave in the ends on this part here. And then I'll pick up around the edge and decrease the first 2 rows until I get it at a width that I like, and then I'll finish up, and then I'll do the decreases to close this off once the thumb is long enough. It's very easy, very simple to do. There's no pattern needed. I didn't use a pattern to make them. I just said, well, oh, okay, trace your hand. I know what a mitten is supposed to look like, and go from there. There's a lot of things that you can freehand, just trial and error, and just from the things that you already know about crocheting, shaping, and crocheting, and previous projects you've worked on. If you made a sock before, then freehanding a pair of mittens is nothing. And they're not going to be the same because they're freehanded. I'm not using a pattern, but they'll be close enough to being the same that it would take another crocheter who knows how to count their stitches and all this other stuff, and to figure it out that, hey, okay, these aren't the same. She used 21 stitches on this thumb. She used 19 stitches on this thumb. But that's what makes, for me, that's what makes crochet fun. Not always being held to a rigid pattern, being able to just crochet for the sake of crocheting. So just going around in a circle now. I'm not using my beginning area now. I'm just going around in a circle, a spiral. And then once the thumb is where I need it to be, I'll do some more decreases, and then I'll take my yarn needle and I'll sew in that end. See, just that quick. It doesn't take long. I could have had it finished if I was doing it the whole time we've been talking. So yeah, so I need to get ready to start decreasing to get toward the end of the thumb, and then I'll have a finished mitten. That's pretty much, I think, all I have going on. You guys know me. Of late, I've been pretty much monogamous to a pattern. I'm not doing 2 or 3 patterns at a time. If I finish both pairs of these tonight, then I will be starting on fingerless gloves and a cowl for somebody who's going to be going on a trip to Scotland soon. And I got this from my local yarn shop. It's from the Queensland's collection. It's called Brisbane, and it was made in China for Euro yarns. And the website is knittingfever.com, and the dye lot is 140107, and the colorway is 07. It is Queensland Brisbane double line. Yeah, made in China, but colors are gorgeous. The colors are gorgeous, and it's showing up almost true to color. It's not as pinky as you see it right there. But yeah, I'm gonna make a fingerless gloves with 1 pair, and a cowl or a hat with the other. Probably a hat, because I don't think there's gonna be enough yarn for a cowl, a nice cowl. So yeah, that's all that's been going on over here. So tomorrow, I'm hoping we don't have any more snow or anything in our forecast, because what they say, ain't got time for that. My forecast. Let's see. It's saying tomorrow night. No, this night. Today is Wednesday. No, today is Tuesday. Tomorrow night is a 60% chance of more snow. Hopefully not. It's supposed to be in the low is 13 tomorrow night. Tonight the low is supposed to get down to 17. And then Saturday is supposed to be getting 30% chance of rain. and then a 6% chance later on. So hopefully all the snow will be gone once Saturday rolls through here. So it's going to be not so fun trying to get to work and trying to get home from work tomorrow. It's basically what that forecast says, which sucks. So I'll let you guys go. If it looks bad, my husband might be dropping me off at work and picking me up tomorrow. And that's that. So I'm going to let you guys go. I'll post this video. Let me see if I can find my... There we go. Find my stuff for it. Okay, I will see you guys later. Don't forget, let me know if there's a specific subject you guys want to discuss. Let me know how the sound is for y'all. I mean, it sounds fine to me whenever I listen to my videos back on YouTube. But I've noticed, but I don't do any editing, so maybe it's from people who edit their videos that their sound quality degrades. But there's some videos I have a nice sound system attached to my computer because I game with it, and I like listening to music with it. But there are some people videos I have to crank the sound all the way up. You can hear the static and the speakers popping. It's that, yeah. I myself, if I listen back to one of my videos and you had to do that, or you had to put on headphones so you can isolate yourself from the world just to be able to hear what people are saying in the video, those videos, they should do like a supplemental soundtrack to them or something. Just do a read over or something, or just redo the video, or figure out a way to do their video so it doesn't sound like you're mumbling and you can't hear them. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to blow my speakers just trying to hear someone talk. There's ways you can adjust your volume, or you can adjust your input, your output. You could get a little mic to speak into. There's other options out there that will improve the sound quality on your videos. I mean, I'm not a professional or nothing like that, but I'm just saying it's hard, and I really want to hear what some of the people are saying in their videos, simply because, you know, they have content that I like seeing the video of what they're doing. I just can't hear what they're saying well enough. And there's also people who might be having hearing issues, and so even nothing they do is going to help them because they have a hearing deficit to begin with. So to them, it's like you're not even saying anything, you're just mute. So those are some things to take into consideration. And that's pretty much it. I will probably see you guys this weekend. Hopefully I will have some more of this stuff cleared off my desk by then. I need another bookcase. I mean, I got one downstairs. It's like got all the kitchen stuff in it and some other stuff, but then that would mean putting some of my favorite stuff downstairs. So maybe I just need to go through my books and stuff up here and pull out the stuff that's not my favorite stuff, or stuff that I don't want to mess with, like some of my magazines, my Farscape magazines, stuff like that. And maybe I should put them down there in those bookcases that I don't mess with that much. But I'm afraid if I put it down there, somebody's going to mess with it. See what I'm saying? You see the quandary I have? And some of these, most of my Farscape magazines have never, they just as pristine as the day I got them, back when Farscape was on. That was one of the best space operas ever, and I miss it. That was, to me, that was good television. Farscape was good television. So yeah. So I gotta figure out how I'm gonna get this done this weekend. I have one of those bumps you get in your ear. You can't reach it, but it hurts and it's sore. So every time you go to scratch your ear or something, you feel it, but you can't get it. It's driving me crazy. Alright, I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm just ranting now.